Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming. Without us, they couldn't feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So, I know I put one up, which was UB, and I have two games that I'm probably not going to have a chance to put up because I just don't remember fully what happened. One game was versus Ryan. Um, I believe I won that game, and then it was versus Phil, Phil Carl, and I'll make reference to that because if not, he'll give me crud about it. Is he beat me point wise? However, it was a 10-10 because I played the objective playing with my Dwarven holds. So I still have yet to lose to. No, I have lost to Phil, but very few times. But he wanted to make sure I made reference to that. But this time, what we have is we actually decided to do just a small group of us, kind of an outside round robin style tournament. It's all for fun. So welcome to Pandemic Padio 2020. Can a dragon breathe fire while masked? That's a good question. So I want to give a huge shout out to our friend Chris, who actually hosted it, and he had it all set up. He in his backyard. He actually had tents, or not tents per se, but those little pergolas and I don't know what they're called. But basically, the coverings that around each table. We had four tables set up. One was on his patio. One was underneath I think a pergola, and the other two were in tent or style things, and it was a great time. So Chris, our host, and now I'm going to warn anyone: if you're looking for nothing but paint models, hit stop now. Don't bother watching any of these next three videos, because guess what? This was just for us to try something different, just to throw dice down. So with that said, we have Infernal Dwarves versus the Saurian Ancients. So I'm playing our host Chris. Playing my SA, which I have not played for a while. They're a lot of fun though. So here's his list. He's got the Prophet with Luger on a chariot. That's a master occultism. He's got the Idol of Shamut, which apparently allows it to march 12. He's got paired weapons here, heart. Yeah, okay. I personally haven't seen that build. He's got his general, which was had the Turok ritual, so his now a basically calf style model with a 4 up, 4 up. And he's got the Vizier on a Bull of Shamut, BSB with the Master Mage. So can't be wounded on it's -1 for strength 5. So, that's actually not a bad thing right there, because you're not until your strength 6 you're wounding that thing on 4s, and that thing does, or I believe, automatically comes with a 5 up Aegis, and it's got a magic resistance and flaming weapon. So that can work. Because I actually did have the Jade Staff in my list, but you'll see that in a second. Blunderbuss, great weapons. I'm seeing a lot of that as of late, is the Blunderbuss with great weapons. Citadel Guard with spears, seeing that as well. Pistol spears. Sorry, you hear my daughter with Baby Shark in the background there. And the Torok Enforcers are going to go with his general, and then he's got the 2 artillery pieces, which are those rocket batteries. So he's got the 5 vassal cavalry. He's got the infernal engine that's a rock crusher, and that thing, if you don't have a way to deal with it, it's such a pain. I do, but it was on the wrong side of the board. Reason why? Well, here's my list. Saurian Ancients. So I've got my Warlord on my Alpha, Starfall Shard, Obsidian Rock, Pair Weapon, Touch Greatness. It's a common build. My Quaddle, I have Magical Heirloom, Jade Staff, because again, I felt like I was a little Magic Light in retros, and I actually do like the Jade Staff because that's why I can try to get wounds back on my big monsters. He's Grassy Immortal, Symbolism, Div. He's actually my general and BSB. And then I got my 15 Swords Wars with Spears, Shield, Jaguar, Banner of Speed, full command. The reason I did this is, again, this is something fun. I wanted to see how the Speed 6 Lizards did. Same with another 20. I got 2 units of just basic Pterodon Sentries, Astigio, Mystic Traveler, Saurian, Engine of the Gods, and the 16 Temple Guard with the Rending Banner. So, now this is just a couple of things just to show you. Like this is again the back of Chris's house. This is Ryan and Brian. Yes, I did say Ryan, and yes, I said Brian, playing their game. And again, we just wanted to have like throw dice down for our group, and this wasn't even our full group. We didn't invite everybody. So here are their models, and I have to show that first off. Those are his halflings that have won painting awards and everything else. This is by far my favorite unit coming up. This is my favorite unit, and I love his unit champion. For those of us who have ever seen, I believe it is Monty Python, and well, it's Spamalot, but it's also the Holy Grail. Monty Python, the Holy Grail, large tracts of land. So that's the name of the model, and we have a blast with it. He's just an awesome guy. One of our old crew is coming back into it, so I want to give a shout out to Al for coming back out. It's great to have him. I mean, it was just awesome, and of course he's stuck playing Phil Carl, and but they had fun. Then we had Brett versus Ben. Ben's a newer player, hence the bases. He actually has the models on those bases, but we need to turn around and he literally was handed the models that morning, and just for a closer look of that army. And this is Brett's army. Brett turned around and he was doing a lot of work with this. I gotta say, I liked it. It's a little tough to see where the breaks are with like the knights and stuff because he definitely did some double up bases and things. But honestly, I want to give him kudos because his paint's come a long way, and he's definitely now a better painter than I am. Although I am learning to use my airbrush, and that's why you see a great big black glob in the middle of my line. They actually have. I used my airbrush, got them paint, then I put a little blue and a little purple. You just can't see it. Phil, who is much better at, thank you, at using an airbrush, gave me some advice, so I'm going to go back and start redoing some things. And like the big dinosaur at the end, believe it or not, is actually painted green with several shades. You just can't tell from this picture. And Brett, this player's army you just saw, he's the one who did the blue Saurus Warriors. And you can see how far he's come along. But compared to, say, Chris Max, I mean, come on. That's beautifully done. And I love it. I absolutely love it. He's been using either the Russian company or Mantic models in his army. And honestly, they look great. And he turned around and he's like, the Mantic stuff. For those of you who are trying to maybe consider Infernal Dwarves right now with Ninth Age, it's like the Manic stuff. I mean, let's be honest. At first, it's like they got metal heads, and you're like, they don't have a lot of detail. But he's like, they come out beautifully, and coming from Chris, I'll take that any day of the week. So this is first turn. I dropped for first, and going from left to right, actually, let me go back a few pictures. Went the wrong way. So going from left to right, I've got my Alpha, I've got my Tarsaur, and the reason why they're all over there is because of the forest. I wanted to get cover from his 2 rocket batteries because the rockets actually have the potential to do so many wounds to me that it's going to be a rough day. For my monsters, they do D3 wounds. Let's see what else I have. And then I've got my brick of 20. I got my Temple Guard, which is a black brick with my Quaddle is in there. I've got my Stygie behind. You see 2 units of Pterodons. And on the one flank, just to go out, we're playing Spoils of... we're playing Spoils. Or Secure Target. We're playing Secure Target this round. You see my a 15-man unit. So I'm hoping to turn around and draw out his Infernal Engine and dance with it. So again, you already saw that picture. I move up. I chaff up his front line and to give everything cover, no matter what. And he charges in with his general and his unit, which is fine because if not, he knows I'm just going to start magicking them. He makes very short work of that unit in close combat because let's be honest, pterodons, they're there to die. Actually, I chose to flee and only ran like 3 inches with Swiss Stride. I rolled a 1-1-2, I believe. Yeah, I had to roll a 1-1-2. And that's so now this is going to be the start of my turn 2. So my turn 2, I'm edging up, even though he's got that unit of vassal cavalry on the side there. They can't really do much of anything. I've got my pterodons hiding back there for when I need the chaff. And let's see here. Oh, during his shooting phase. Sorry, this is still his turn. So he goes ahead. He caught them, crushed them during his shooting phase. Oh, by the way, you see the little red dice back there? I apologize for not having a picture for that. Swarm of insects on that model, put on 4 wounds. His shooting phase, he goes ahead and kills 5 Saurus warriors. I'm like, that ain't great. So during my turn, I go ahead, I charge in, and I charge him with, he doesn't flee. So first I charge him with my Saurus block. I'm like, all right, it's not a problem. I'll get him with that, and he'll flee, and I'll be able to then just start re-maneuvering. He doesn't flee. I'm like, I'm going to charge in the Temple Guard and then move the Stygia up behind it, and that's exactly what I did. And so now this is how this looks. And let's see. On the one side, just to go back, I move my pterodons over so that I can start. I dropped rocks and start harassing that unit. And here's just a picture of that charge combat. After dropping rocks, he's down to 2 vassal cavalry. And there's that whole swarm of insects. He's down to 1 wound. I got up 2 spells, Stars Align and Scrying. So right there, it's just like game over. And Quaddle Magic, because it's +2 to cast. I've got Channel 3 right now. I'm loving it. And that's it. So as I said, it's my turn 2. This is how the board looks. This is after the combat. I go charging in. I still have my spells up because I did bubbles. I think I did bubbles, either Stars Line or Bubble Scrying, I forget which. And even though, look, I don't know why, but he's got a flank charge, an easy flank charge with his orcs right there. And I went ahead and I ran up. I did not think he was going to charge in with his BSB. Sure enough, what does he do? Okay, and now this is going to be the start of his turn. Is he goes ahead, start of his turn. I do love that model. He pivots it and moves the other way. He charges in his BSB, but he doesn't charge in the orcs in the flank. I don't know why, but he didn't. He does manage to get up a spell. He gets up Breath of Corruption. Here's the thing. I don't care about Breath of Corruption on that. Over here, again, I still had Stars Align and Scrying going on. He does 1 wound. I do nothing back to him, but between my rank, 2 banners, can't do anything about it. So now it's start of my turn 3. So I charge in my Stygiosaur. I chaff up because he did advance up on the far side. It's kind of difficult to see from the picture. I do apologize. He does advance up the blunderbusses that he has over there, and so I chaff them up, and I go ahead. During my shooting phase. You'll see that I did try to charge the slaves. He fled. I tried to redirect and make it into his general. Instead, I failed. I'm like, all right, I can live with that. And this is how that now looks. And that's what he told me is that's why I didn't charge into your flank. I'm like, okay. I mean, to me, you charge the orcs into the flank. I mean, just combat res alone of 3 ranks, flank, big flank. I mean, that's +5 combat res, even though I have my magic up. I like those odds. Maybe he's worried about me killing too many of the orcs. I don't know. For during my turn. Now, I forgot to mention this earlier. He did go ahead and put 2 wounds onto my Stygiosaur with one of his rocket batteries, and now but I did go charging in. He's got 3 wounds on that during my magic phase. I get Bubble Stars Align, and I get Bubble Scrying. However, I rolled trip 4s. So, and this was the 1 phase. So it drops to a 3, goes back up to a 4. It happens. That's all I can say is it happens. So warriors with great weapons versus my Saurus warriors. We'll see what happens. During my shooting phase, I kill that one more vassal cavalry. It fails his leadership and will eventually go off the board. Now his turn 3. Going back to that close combat, I turn around, I pop him, I reform, and this is how everything looks at this point in time. The issue is because he charged in his BSB, I didn't have a way to get my Quaddle away from this, and the Temple Guard are fearless, so they can't choose to flee. So here's how the board looks. It's been a bloody game. During his shooting phase, he turns around and does a lot of wounds. He does 2, 4, 5 wounds. I do make my leadership 5 test, and that's that. His rocket battery turns around and does the final couple wounds to the Stygiosaur, and he's just doing a number. I did manage to put 2 wounds onto his Rock Crusher, but I'm losing the war of attrition. That's all I can say is I'm losing the war of attrition. And I'm just going to go back real quick. So you see the charge there in the middle. I forgot to mention this. He charges in with his general against my Taurosaur. I'm like, come on, bring it. I whiff. He does 2 wounds and a charge. So I'm like, okay, I'm stubborn. And Phil, who just happens to be walking by, is like, Mark, you're in a farce. I'm like, oh, crap. Unfortunately, I can't choose to flee. Otherwise, I would have loved to have done that. So, going forward, he blows up my Taurosaur with his general, and that's the way the board looks. So now it's my turn 4. There's Grandmaster Phil. You'll see that very far flank, it looks very empty. So I charge my Alpha into the blunderbuss, or not the Citadel Guard with spears. He fails his leadership. No BSB. They flee. They flee 11 inches and are off the board. Otherwise, I don't think I had a very successful magic phase, or because I can't really do anything at this point in time. All my ways to cast from my Quaddle, I'm stuck in combat and just being ground to death. So I am now down to his 1 Temple Guard. It's his turn 4, and he charges into the rear of the Quaddle and the one remaining Temple Guard. He's like, you know what? Your alpha's all the way over there. I want nothing to do with that alpha, and is taken off for the other side because he knows I can claim objective. So, oh, wrong way. Needless to say, he kills that. My Quaddle gets 3 wounds on it and breaks from combat. He chooses to have me run from the Citadel. No, they're Infernal Warriors. I'm sorry, they're Infernal Warriors with great weapons, and has me just choose to run from them. So I do. My turn 5, my Quaddle gets away and rallies, but he also ran far enough with his Citadel Guard to clear his unit. All right, so now it's my turn 5. Or his turn 5, and this is now how the board looks. He charged the Quaddle. I fled. Okay, puts him on the other side of the warriors because I had moved them up. And again, I'm trying to pursue and get after them. My one lone Pterodon is trying to take out that last single model, and that's it. During his turn 5, he snipes out my my Quaddle, and that's it. At this point, I know that Rock Crusher is just going to mulch me, so I have to give up on objective at this point because I can't take the Lord with the Chariot and that Rock Crusher. So turn 6, I go charging into those warriors. I beat up those warriors. I tried to be sneaky, and I did it the wrong way, but so I lost my last Pterodon, and this is how the board looks. It was a bloody, bloody game, and it is exactly what you expect. It is a tied game. It is a 10-10. Great game, Chris. He was excited. He's like, I died, yeah, awesome. Because neither one of us are used to those armies, and it was just a great game. I think point-wise, I had 147 points up on him. But again, per the tables, it's a 10-10. Great game, a lot of fun, and it was great seeing everyone and just rolling the dice. Well, I'm going to start working on the next one here soon, and until next time, happy gaming.